My brothers and sisters, may the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the customs post. He said to him, "Follow me." And he got up and followed him. While he was at table in his house, many tax collectors and sinners came and sat with Jesus and his disciples. The Pharisees saw this and said to his disciples, "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" He heard this and said, "Those who are well do not need a physician, but the sick do. Go and learn the meaning of the words, 'I desire mercy, not sacrifice.' I did not come to call the righteous, but sinners." The Gospel of the Lord. In the French church in Rome, San Luigi, there is a small side chapel that holds a copy, or not a copy, the original painting by Caravaggio, who was a Mannerist painter, of the calling of St. Matthew. And it's sort of interesting the way Caravaggio expresses what happens there, because the entire painting is, for the most part, very dark, shadowy, very you can see there's figures there, but they're not real clear. But the only place that's clear is the eyes of Jesus, and in turn, the reflection from Jesus' face going onto the face of Matthew. And it is that moment, of course, where he's being asked and invited by Jesus to follow him, and he accepts it immediately. And that's sort of the interesting thing about the gospel this morning, specifically, that Jesus gives the invitation. There's no hesitation, there's no questions, there's no thinking about it. Immediately, Matthew gets up and follows him. And of course, even though perhaps realistically that would not be what we'd expect to happen, surely from a theological perspective, that's precisely what happens when a person is called to conversion. It's not something you can think about necessarily. It's not something that you can rationalize. It is rather a message and a statement of faith. It takes an awareness on the part of the person that even though I don't have the answers or know where this will lead, I will follow. And I've been hearing, of course, in the past couple of weeks, the story of Abram turned Abraham, who essentially did the same thing. He picked up the security that he had from his own household at the age of 76 and heard this voice that he didn't totally understand and believed and took in faith the call and the invitation to follow God. And of course, for him, it was a blessing as a result of it, as it is for anyone who comes to the decision to follow him. During the course of our own lives, there are many moments when God tries to get through to us and to invite us to take a step with him, perhaps another direction than what we anticipated, perhaps to kind of just step back for a moment and think about what we're doing. Whatever that invitation is that he might put in our hearts, it is a time for us as well, out of sincere faith, to not question it, to not walk away from it, but to allow that beam of light which comes from God to shine on us and make us whole because of it.